The triage tent was chaos, and Nurse Rebecca Walsh was barely keeping up. Her left leg throbbed with each step, the result of a car accident 3 months ago that left her with a permanent limp. When the call came for experienced nurses to deploy to the disaster zone after the earthquake in Turkey, Rebecca didn't hesitate. Now, 72 hours into the relief effort, she was running on coffee and determination. Before we go any further, I want you to think about something. Have you ever been told you weren't good enough? That your limitations made you less valuable? If you've ever felt underestimated, this story is for you. Hit that like button and subscribe, because what happens next will prove that sometimes our weaknesses become our greatest strengths. The senior medical coordinator, Dr. Harrison, pulled Rebecca aside as she limped past with supplies. "Walsh, you need to rest. You're slowing down the team. Maybe sit this rotation out." His voice wasn't cruel, just practical. Rebecca heard what he really meant. "You don't belong here." "I'm fine, sir. I can handle it. That limp is getting worse. I need nurses who can move fast." Rebecca nodded, defeated, and moved toward the back of the tent. That's when she heard the distinctive thunder of helicopter rotors. For Marine CH-53 helicopters descended on their small field hospital, kicking up dust and drowning out all conversation. Dr. Harrison rushed outside, confused. Rebecca followed, curious despite her exhaustion. The lead helicopter's door slid open, and a Marine Corps officer jumped out, his face urgent. Behind him, more Marines were carefully unloading stretchers. But they weren't moving them toward the hospital. They were waiting. "I need Angel 6. The officer shouted over the rotor wash. "We were told Angel 6 is at this location. We need her now." Dr. Harrison stepped forward. "I'm the medical coordinator here. What's this about?" "Not you, sir. We need Angel 6. We have for critical Marines, and they're asking for her specifically." Rebecca's heart stopped. Angel 6. That was her call sign from 8 years ago when she served as a Navy nurse in Afghanistan. She stepped forward, her limp more pronounced. "I'm Angel 6. I'm Rebecca Walsh. Here's where this story takes a turn." Nobody saw coming. Sometimes the people we help never forget us, even when we've forgotten ourselves. Stay with me, because what these Marines are about to tell Rebecca will change everything. The officer's face flooded with relief. "Ma'am, we have 4 Marines, all wounded in a training exercise. But that's not the problem. They're suffering from severe psychological trauma, combat stress reactions. They're unresponsive to our corpsmen. Vitals are unstable." But one of them managed to say your name, called you Angel 6. Rebecca's mind raced. "I haven't served in years. How do they know me?" "Mum, one of them has your name on his medical alert bracelet. Says if critical, find Angel 6. His name is Corporal Danny Martinez." The world tilted. Danny Martinez. She remembered him, a terrified 19-year-old she'd treated in Kandahar after an IED attack. He'd been physically fine, but mentally shattered, locked in a dissociative state. Rebecca had sat with him for 6 hours straight, talking to him about her hometown, her grandmother's garden, the rain in Seattle. Slowly, she'd walked him back from the edge. "Take me to them," Rebecca said. The Marines were lined up on stretchers near the helicopters. Rebecca approached and saw at that same vacant stare she remembered from Danny. All 4 men were physically injured but trapped inside themselves. Their minds fled to some unreachable place. She knelt beside the first Marine, ignoring the screaming pain in her leg. "Hey there, warrior. I'm Angel 6. I'm here now. You're safe." Her voice was soft, the same tone she'd used years ago. She placed her hand on his shoulder, a gentle anchor to reality. Nothing. No response. But she didn't give up. She moved to the second Marine, then the third. When she reached Danny Martinez, now 27, his eyes flickered slightly. "Danny, it's Rebecca. It's Angel 6. Remember Seattle. Remember the rain. Remember the garden." She kept her voice low, rhythmic, pulling him back. Rebecca spent the next 40 minutes moving between the 4 Marines, talking, touching their hands, creating a thread of connection back to the present. Dr. Harrison watched, stunned. The Marine officer stood with tears in his eyes. One by one, the Marines began to respond. First Danny, his fingers squeezing Rebecca's hand. Then the others, their breathing steadying, their eyes focusing. What the medical team didn't know was that these 4 Marines had all been treated by her at different times during her deployment. They discovered their shared connection later and made a pact. If anything ever happened, if they got lost in the darkness again, they'd find Angel 6, because she'd proven she could bring them home. By the time the sun set, all 4 Marines were stable and responsive. The psychological crisis had passed. Dr. Harrison approached Rebecca, his face humble. "I told you to sit out. I was wrong. What you just did, I've never seen anything like it." Rebecca smiled through her exhaustion. Sometimes the best medicine isn't about moving fast. It's about knowing when to slow down, to sit with someone, to remember that healing isn't always physical. The Marine officer shook her hand. "Ma'am, these men wrote your name in their emergency contacts. They trusted that somehow, if they called for you, you'd be there. And you were. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that the impact we have on others ripples far beyond what we can see, I need you to share this video. Share it with someone who's doubting their worth. Someone who's been told their limitations make them less. Drop a comment and tell me, who was your Angel 6? Who showed up for you when you were lost? Because someone out there is carrying your name in their heart, hoping that when they need you most, you'll remember them. Your presence matters. Your compassion matters. You matter more than you'll ever know.